Hey everyone, and welcome! Today, we've got an amazing story for you. It's all about survival, incredible science, and some seriously sweet success, coming to us from the mountains of Kashmir. We're going to dig into a breakthrough that's changing, well, everything, for millions of tiny, buzzing workers and the people who depend on them. So, let me ask you this. What does it actually take to save millions upon millions of bees from the brutal sub-zero temperatures of a Himalayan winter? I mean, it sounds like an impossible challenge, right? Well, the answer to that question is at the very heart of the story we're telling today. All right, so first things first, let's meet our hero, Apis mellifera, better known as the Western or European honeybee. Now, this isn't just any old bee. This little guy is basically the most important insect on the planet, commercially speaking. From the honey we eat to pollinating the crops that feed us, this creature is a global superstar. But, even superstars have a weakness. And for the Western bee living in Kashmir, that weakness has always been the winter. It's a deadly serious problem that has forced beekeepers into this incredibly costly and dangerous ritual year after year. And this chart right here shows you exactly why they go to all that trouble. You see, Kashmiri beekeepers rely on this specific bee because, well, look at that honey production. The local bee, Apis cerana, is a tough little thing, but it just can't make nearly as much honey. So for anyone trying to make a living, the Western bee is pretty much the only game in town. So to protect these super valuable colonies, beekeepers have been forced to do something pretty extreme. Every single winter, we're talking a 6-month-long forced migration. They have to physically pack up and move thousands of beehives all the way from the cold Kashmiri mountains down to the warmer plains of India. And this journey, it is incredibly risky. On average, a staggering 30% of the bee colonies just don't make it. Just think about that for a second. That's like losing nearly a third of your entire business every single year. The cost, both financially and emotionally, is just huge. And this isn't some simple road trip. As Dr. Shahid Rasool, a principal scientist on this project, puts it, it's a tedious process. It involves massive costs for trucks, fuel, and people. This quote really brings home the immense human effort that went into just trying to keep these bees alive. Okay, but what if the bees never had to leave in the first place? Well, this is where our story takes a really cool, innovative turn. A team of scientists came up with a revolutionary solution, something they call a warm womb, designed to help the bees survive the winter right there in Kashmir. And here is the absolute game changer. Researchers at the CSIR Indian Institute of Integrative Medicine, or CSIR-IIM for short, proved that Apis mellifera can, in fact, survive Kashmir's freezing winters. This single discovery changes the entire equation. So you're probably asking, how on earth did they pull that off? Well, it really boils down to two genius ideas. First, they came up with a special sugar and protein-rich diet to basically fortify the bees, to beef them up for the cold. And second, they redesigned the hives themselves, using new materials to keep the temperature and humidity inside perfectly regulated, even when there's a blizzard raging outside. Now, here's where it gets even more interesting. You see, solving this migration problem wasn't just about saving bees or saving money. It turns out, keeping the bees in Kashmir all year created this incredible cascade of positive benefits for the entire region. And to understand why this matters so much, you gotta look at this. Honeybees are responsible for about 70% of all pollination in Kashmir. They are the literal backbone of the ecosystem. And for 6 months out of every year, a huge chunk of that critical workforce was just gone. So, with the bees gone during the absolutely crucial spring pollination season, apple farmers had to turn to chemical sprays. Now, natural pollination, that's the good stuff. It makes for better fruit and healthier trees. These chemical sprays, they're a temporary fix that costs a lot of money and can actually damage the health of the trees in the long run. Dr. Rasool has this really powerful analogy for it. He says using these chemical sprays is like giving dope to humans. Wow, it might give you a temporary boost, but it ultimately hurts the tree's health and the quality of the fruit. So having the bees back means the whole system gets healthier. But wait, this story doesn't even stop there. All of this incredible work led to a completely unexpected and super delicious bonus, a brand new product for Kashmir. This is so cool. For the first time ever, because those Apis mellifera colonies were finally there and buzzing around during the apple blossom season, they produced monofloral apple honey. This is a premium, high-value product that was just impossible to create before.
So let's just step back and look at this incredible chain reaction. This one scientific innovation wiped out that 30% mortality rate, it saved beekeepers a fortune, it brought back natural pollination for the vital apple industry, it improved the entire ecosystem's health, and as a cherry on top, it created a brand new gourmet product. That is a massive win-win-win.
It's just an amazing story of how solving one very specific problem can unlock this whole wave of positive change. And it really makes you wonder, if a single, focused innovation can have such a profound impact on an entire region's agriculture and economy, what other impossible problems are just one brilliant breakthrough away from being solved? What's next?